In fact, quite to the opposite of what you were suggesting. You said that the rationale would be he should have saw her turning and knew that that meant she was going to miss him. In this instance, we see that the turning of the wheel is actually making the wheels more in line to hit him. Have you acknowledged that at some distances, shooting a person that's driving could cause them to change direction?
Could cause, by could you mean logically?
Yes or no?
But by could do you mean it's
yes
possible?
Yes or no, please.
But I'm trying to clarify the question.
Yes, I'm saying that reasonably a person could intuit that shooting a person driving a car could cause them to change direction.
By could, do you mean it's possible?
I said, is it reasonable to assume that shooting a person driving could cause them to change direction?
I'm not sure that that's a reasonable belief.
Okay. And then people should take that as you being bad faith. All science would show that that is not the case. That the chances of someone changing direction while they're driving if they're shot is very high. In fact, it's probably more likely than not. And you saying that you, not only do you not think, you think it's not even reasonable for that to occur.
No, I'm not, I was just saying, I'm not sure, I don't have that intuition that at a given distance,
no, we're not talking about a given direction. Again, notice how you changed the question.
Sorry. No, what's the question?
At a given distance? I'm sorry. At some point, if someone shoots a person driving a car, is it reasonable to assume the direction of the car will change?
I'm not sure.
Well, there you have it. So, yeah, I think that it's clearly this. I mean, I don't know what to say. Then I'll say the same. I'm not sure that seeing someone changing directions or turning the steering wheel. I'm not sure. That'll be my answer.
But hang on a second. So it's not my intuition that shooting someone in a vehicle will eventually cause the vehicle to change direction.
Reasonably, could it cause it to change direction? Could a reasonable person think it would change direction?
Yeah, I mean, it's a reasonable. It's possible that someone could think that the car would change direction, but again, I don't know that in the case that we're talking about, it would bear on that because it's so close. The distance is very close.
Mm-hmm. Show me your evidence. Right? Once you acknowledge that it's possible, show me the evidence that distance wouldn't be possible.
No, wait a second. So at that distance, the car's already in motion, and any change in direction isn't going to bear on, or to the extent that it exists. I don't think there's a feeling that a reasonable officer would have that it would change such that it would improve his the risk to him as an individual.
By the way, show me the video. Where's the video that shows that she clearly was turning the wheel away from him? If that doesn't exist, then you acknowledge that your entire argument falls apart, correct?
No, I don't think it falls apart because we know she was turning.
So then when you said,
but there is video. That it's the video from the officer, the video from the officer shows it.
So real quick, when you said it was a red herring whether or not the car actually hit him, because I would think the same either way, you would say that this is a red herring about turning the wheel as well then, right?
No.
Oh, so can you explain to me why the vehicle actually hitting him would be a red herring? Because I would think that either way. But you saying that had she not turned the wheel would not be a red herring.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood your question. So are you asking whether or not there exists video of her turning?
No, I'm asking
whether it would change the turning rationale?
Correct. If there is no video of her turning the wheel away from him, would that you
be very specific with your question, Rob? Wait. Just because there's no video of her spinning the wheel, no, because I would still assume that he saw her spin the wheel given the other angle. But if you're saying, did she in fact not turn the wheel?
Angle? Given what angle?
Given we see the tires turn from the other angle before we had the officer video. We knew the car was turning. Agreed?
No, we could see that she accelerated while the tires are still facing.
Come on, wait, sorry, hang on, I can't hear you.
We could see that she accelerated.
I can't hear you. 1 second. Okay, go ahead.
We could see that she accelerated while the tire was still facing him.
No, but the car was turning, correct? Even in the other video, right?
She did a turn where the car.
Oh my God! No, the wheels were going to the right even before we had the officer video, correct?
I don't. No, what I remember from this is the wheels turned as she backed up, so the officer wasn't directly in front of her, but the way the wheels were turned when she backed up pointed him directly in front of the car.
I understand. At some point,
Then she started accelerating towards him while the wheels were still pointing at him. The wheels
at any point, do you think the wheels are turning to the right?
At that point, when the acceleration comes, the wheel isn't turning. It is literally facing him as the acceleration starts. If
That's
you're asking me,
let
me ask you, if you're asking me after that acceleration starts, does the wheel turn a little? I don't know. But why would they
go? How would the wheels go from like to the left to straight and then to the right? She's turning the wheel to do that, right? There's no way for it to effectuate that other than turning the wheel.
Listen, if I do this, if I turn the wheel this way and back up and then advance and my tires are still painted that way, I didn't have to turn the wheel. Now, if your argument, I'll say for the sake of argument, let's concede, right? That, okay, what you acknowledge that this happened is this a scenario. She backs up. He's then in line with the car. She accelerates towards him. She's a short distance away from accelerates toward while the wheels are pointed directly at him. But as she's doing that, this is your contention, she's turning. That's your contention.
She's turning the wheel. But no, I'm trying to address your question. Your question was...
I'm asking you, like, was...
She's turning the wheel. Yes, she's turning the wheel. She's turning the wheel. She's turning the wheel.
Step by step. She turned the wheel and backed up. Agreed?
Correct.
When she backed up, this put the officer more in center of her car, more in front of her car.
He walks in front of it and she backs in such a way that he's more in the center of it. Yep.
Correct. So now he's more in the center. Then she starts to advance forward.
Correct. As she's turning the wheel. As she's turning the wheel. As she's turning the wheel.
Let me finish. At the point where she advances forward, is the tire aimed at the officer?
There's at one point in which it's the line of the vehicle, but she's turning the wheel the whole time.
So, okay, so your argument is...
She's turning the wheel the whole time, Rob.
Okay, so I'm going to play some clips here, and you're going to say the wheels were in constant motion from a right to left the entire time. There was no point where there was acceleration.
Who said constant... Wait, finish. Who said constant motion? Wait, what's this whole thing about constant motion? Wait, who said... Wait, no. Did I ever say the word constant motion?
Okay, then you concede my argument.
She's turning the steering wheel. The steering wheel.
If there wasn't constant motion, then you've conceded my argument that there was a point where the wheels were facing straight and not turning, and the acceleration occurred towards it.
So there's a conflation here. I'm not talking about the wheels of the car when I say she's constantly turning the steering wheel. That's what I mean. She's turning the steering wheel.
Can you explain to me how the steering wheel turns without the car wheels turning? You're saying it was a defective device?
No. What I'm saying is, regardless of whether or not there's some tire slippage or whatever, when she's navigating and accelerating, she's turning the wheel to the right.
So show me the video of that. Because your argument seemed to be...
The officer video. Officer video.
So your argument was this previously. It doesn't matter if we have a video of her turning the wheel. We can see from the tires. And now you're like, well, even if there's a point where the tires don't look like they're turning, I know she was turning the wheel and it might have been slippage.
No. We know that she's turning the wheel because the car is turning to the right as the officer is stepping to the side. We know she's turning, and we didn't need to have the officer video for that.
Was there a point where the acceleration started where the wheel was not turning?
A split second?
Oh,
I'm not sure.
So how long's the entire interaction?
It's a couple seconds, 2-3 seconds.
So there was a point where the car started to move forward.
The shooting stuff, but before it's the entire encounter is POC. But yeah.
So there you go. So there's a point where the car was accelerated and she wasn't turning the wheel.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you do the Achilles paradox or whatever, if you put like if you divide everything is a Sorty's paradox with you, Rob. Everything's a Sorty's paradox. But the question is whether or not there's a reasonable opportunity to perceive a difference in threat or the fact that she's turning the wheel. And the truth is, she's turning the wheel the whole time when she put it in drive.
She's not, as you just acknowledged, that there's a time where she's accelerating where she's not turning the wheel. And so my argument is,
when does that happen?
You just acknowledged it.
Wait, when did I acknowledge that that's the reality?
I mean, so now we're going back in time because you just said, was there a time where the acceleration started where the wheel wasn't turning?
When the acceleration started with the wheel wasn't turning. Correct. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
All I could ask you is, let me share a different screen. It's fucking so tough.
So
because you're on Discord,
this sucks, accelerating?
I can't share two screens, right, is what's going on, right? So I can't share it here as I'm talking to you. But yes, it seems as if my recollection was that when you look at the tires, that there are still shots that show when you first see that she is not turning because she backs up at an angle and then advances straight and then starts to veer. But there is a point where it advances straight. That's the point where he's going to make the decision to draw his gun. So he, in that split second, sees the vehicle is directly facing me and going straight. Your argument is, in that moment, in literally milliseconds, he should have saw her start to turn.
Wait. When she starts to put it in drive, she's turning the wheel to the right. Okay. Hang on one second. I think
my audience should be able to see.
fucking angle.
Okay.
Here, the agent's cell phone footage shows he's moving directly in front of the SUV. As it's reversing and rotating towards him, initiating
pause.
a 3-point
turn. Can you pause it for a second? Okay, he might be moving towards the direction of the SUV, but she's centering it by her backing up. She's moving as well, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Keep going.
To leave. Law enforcement officers are trained to avoid doing this because it puts
you don't doubt that.
Puts them in danger and often leads to the use of force against drivers.
Well, it could be relevant to officer great hazard, correct?
No, it's irrelevant in the case what we're talking about right now, and I'm not trying to get into another 40-minute conversation.
His cell phone is squarely on Miss Good. She looks down, shifts into drive, and begins turning to the right.
That's pretty instantaneous.
Keep going. Keep going.
It's pretty instantaneous, Rob, right?
Just wait. Keep going.
Cut to this high angle and zoom in.
So it looks like she's turning there as she's advancing forward. I totally can see.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
Okay.
And his arm filming. We can also see at the same time he's beginning to lift his other arm. On these cameras, we can see what's happening around Agent Ross. The other agent is yelling orders and reaching into Miss Good's SUV.
The turn right there. Pause. That wheel's turning towards him. Her turning right is putting her more in line with him. Yes.
Yes, but she's turning. That's because the wheels are to the left before.
Right. But
turn.
Back it up just a little. Back it up just a little.
Is yelling orders and
right
like
now.
Look at the tires right there.
If
she's doing a K turn.
But listen, if she accelerates right there, she's going to miss him to the left. Right. So from his perspective, he's not knowing, oh, she's doing a K-turn. She's literally turning the wheel towards him.
Reaching into
but she wouldn't need to do this, Rob, if she wanted to run him over.
But how's he supposed to know that in the heat of the moment? He sees
if she wants to run him over, wait, Rob, if she wants to run him over, she can just do that with the car. She doesn't need to execute a K-turn.
Real quick, would you at this point, is she turning the wheel towards him?
What do you mean towards him? She's
turning
the wheel to the right.
The wheel so that the car is more in line with him?
Yes, by virtue of executing the K-turn. Yes.
So then, how is he?
She's continuing.
Let me finish.
She's continuing.
Let me finish. So then, from his perspective, oh fuck, she's now aiming the car right at me. You're saying that he should have known she was just doing a K-turn to avoid him. How would he know at this point? In fact, quite to the opposite of what you were suggesting. You said that the rationale would be he should have saw her turning and knew that that meant she was going to miss him. In this instance, we see that the turning of the wheel is actually making the wheels more in line to hit him. Let me ask you the question a different way. If she did let me ask you the question. Yeah. If she did, let's assume she did want to run him over. At this point, wouldn't she be steering in the exact same direction that she is?
Well, she wouldn't have done the backup in the first place. I mean,
that's
she would be turning and she would be turning the wheel presumably and stopping, but she's not stopping the wheels right there.
No.
Just, like, but taking a motion, like she's continuing to turn to the right.
At this point, she's continuing to turn to the right, which is continuing to put him in harm's way. Now, advance the. So my point is, like your argument that she wouldn't have backed up is nonsense. If you're trying to run over someone, you may back up and then accelerate into them. Nonetheless, we can see right now at this point to the officer, it would reasonably look like she's steering right into him. Now let's keep going.
Okay.
Front tire spins as she continues turning right.
Look, the car hasn't even advanced yet.
Okay, but she's trying to advance forward. So at this point, he would see that the tires...
She's turning to the right the whole time.
Towards him. She's turning towards him.
No.
And the tire spins, so he sees at this point that she's accelerating towards him. Now, let's see if she keeps spinning. Go ahead. Right now, he's right in line to be hit.
Feet away from Miss Good's SUV. He does not appear to move out of the way. As the SUV rolls forward, the agent unholsters... Right
there! Now pause. Did you see it was like literally a thousandth of a second that the wheel started to turning? Right now, is that tire in line with him?
it's turning to the right.
Is
I
it
think
in
if he
line
doesn't
with him
move,
right now?
when you say in line, do you mean you draw a line between him
Correct.
and
If she immediately,
the wheel?
if it was humanly possible for her to drop the wheel right now and she advanced forward, would it run over him?
Unclear. I think it probably would.
Okay,
But
so
I think
if we look at now,
she's continuing to turn, but she's turning to the right the whole time. You can ignore that.
I'm not ignoring it. The initial turn to
cool.
the right, from his perspective, is putting him more in line with the vehicle. Right at the time he draws his gun, this is what he would have saw: this woman back up. And if she would have just advanced forward from how she backed up, it would have went to the left of him. She turns the wheel directly towards him. He sees it start to accelerate, and at the time he draws his gun,
and continues to turn to the right.
Now listen, at the time he drew his gun right now, it still looks like she's steering into him. Now your argument is
she's continuing to turn.
It doesn't matter. Right now, if you just acknowledge if she would have dropped the wheel, this would run him over. So to him, it looks like this. She was facing away from me, and she turned and accelerated. She's turning right towards me. He draws his gun as he's seeing that. Now, your argument is from this point, he should rationally be able to see that she's going to continue that turn and miss him.
Well, I think that a rational officer in his position would see her continue to turn to the right, would see that the car's to the stop. It's trivially easy to step to the side.
If she stopped turning to the right here, would a rational officer think that she was going to run him over?
If she stopped right there,
that moment.
And it was clear that she's stopping right there.
Yes.
I think that you'd have more indicia. I'm not sure.
So then your argument is
once she accelerates,
she is at the point she accelerated, she had literally
but that's assuming she stops turning the wheel to the right.
At the point she accelerated, she had turned the vehicle towards him. At this point, even still, the vehicle.
Let's keep watching. I don't want to cut your time.
We could keep going, but I just want to say right here, right? I just want to say your argument is now at this point it would be justified, but in the remaining millisecond that you see it became unjustified because he should have known she was still turning. Go ahead.
Wait. Not at the point in which she's not accelerating, right?
She is accelerating. The tire skipped. Rewind it a little. She's already started to go forward here.
As the SUV.
Okay, yeah, it goes forward a little bit, but she's turning to the right, man. I mean, come on.
Yes, towards him.
And it's at what?
Holsters his
phone. See?
No, away from him.
No, towards him.
Phone video
all right, this is the cell phone video.
The camera drifting off to the left.
See, the car's advancing straight.
Focused on filming.
Straight at him.
It's at this point in the cell phone video where it first looks and sounds like the agent's getting knocked violently.
Let's watch it, okay?
On the other camera, we can see what's happening. Here is Agent Ross aiming his gun at Miss Good. And here is his outstretched arm leaning toward her vehicle, which is barely visible behind the Tahoe. His phone, which is gripped in his left hand, flips over when the agent's hand lands on the front of the vehicle.
This is what you hear as the quote-unquote hit.
There's an audible thud when it hits.
None of this changes anything we just watched.
Okay, I don't know.
So, do you want to keep going with this? We can. I think that
wait, can we just finish it and then we'll give our final thoughts?
That's fine. You can do your New York Times video that you think debunks it. That's fine.
Knocked over, we can see that's not the case from the other angle, which shows he's standing with his hand near the headlight.
His legs are completely outstretched,
away from the vehicle. In the cell phone footage, the agent's face flashes on screen, then it goes black. The other angle shows us why. We can see the agent's foot sliding, his hand bracing against the SUV, and his arm getting pressed into his chest. It is impossible to determine if this is happening because of the SUV's movement.
Okay, I know we're at a weird angle here, right? The direction that the wheels are turned right now, towards the officer where he's at or away?
So at this angle, how do you see the tire?
Don't you think that's important? Let's see what happens.
Movement or the icy asphalt, or more likely, both. And what's very unclear because of the limited quality and availability of footage is what
looks like it's going towards him.
That looks like his hand, bro. That looks like
no. That's not what I'm asking. Okay. Is the car going straight? Is it turning left, or is it turning right?
It's turning relative to itself to the right.
So towards this gray truck.
Well, yeah, more. Yes, it's initiating a turn to the right.
That's what I'm asking because you're acknowledging she has the wheels turned. That's all I'm asking. Go ahead.
This moment is when Agent Ross fires. We see the other agent pull back from the SUV. Both of them stumble, apparently slipping on the ice. This is also the moment many have said looks like Agent Ross getting run over. And it does when watched at full speed.
Do you think that
but looking
you
more
acknowledge
closely,
he's at least touching the car, right?
Yeah, I think you touched the
you
car.
can see in multiple angles that there's a visible gap between the vehicle and his legs, indicating his feet are positioned outside the SUV's path.
So what we have is the
Agent's
time he
left
drew
hand
his
is still
gun
against the vehicle,
and started
gripping.
shooting, that she was turning the wheel towards him and advancing forward.
We see
She proceeded to turn the
Yeah.
wheel further
in the
that would have
clouds
put
and
him
the
out,
trees
but
overhead.
he had no way of knowing what she would
It's not
continue
because
doing.
the agent
He
is
also
not
had about I know
The
they
other angle
grotesquely slowed this down. Do you have the like actual footage so we could get the actual like time? Or do you have an estimate of what the time was? It's all less than a second from when he draws his gun to when he fires, right?
So it would depend what interval. Let's just finish the video. I don't want to cook your time, and I want to address the actual other
still
murder.
standing,
Okay.
continuing to maintain.
I think that
We can organize a longer conversation where you want to show
I'll
me what
just
you want
say
to show
I
me
think that it's
about
clear that
reaction
she
time.
was steering the tire at the time he drew the gun. She had turned towards him, right, and the tires were facing him when she accelerated. That's when he drew his gun.
Okay, but I think you keep ignoring the fact that she's continuing to turn the wheel to the right, and that's what I'm saying is the intent.
It doesn't matter. But listen, how
reasonable
would he
intent.
know she would continue to go to the right? At some point, if he thought he was about to be ran over, he's legitimately allowed to draw his gun and fire, correct?
Wait. If he thinks that they're intentionally trying to run her over,
If he thinks
run
he's
him
going
over,
to be ran
I think,
over.
yeah, yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah. If he thinks he's going to be that she is trying to run him over with her car, I think that he's within his rights to
So
shoot.
go back.
Barring the officer.
Okay.
Created exception.
At the time he
doctrine, whatever.
draws his gun, right, you could see that he was outside the path of the vehicle and she turned the wheels to be in line with where he was and then advanced. When he drew his gun, that was the case. That's probably
Wait.
when he made the decision to fire. And you saying, but he should have realized in the milliseconds later she was continuing to turn those wheels. It's absurd.
Wait. So you think that he made the decision to fire at the time where she began to press on the accelerator?
Correct.
And it would be reasonable at that time.
Correct.